please enjoy the kitty cats while I go finish getting my coffee together. Okay, also, can we take a moment to appreciate this adorable mug? Karma is a cat. Matt and I's best friend got this for me for Christmas and I love it so much. Okay. Excuse me. I'm gonna sit like this because I don't want to disturb the cats. Oh no, Bella. Okay, anyway, hello, hi. Welcome to another video. And today's video, I wanted to talk about some books that I am excited to read. I'm a huge mood reader, so I don't set a very strict TBR that I have to follow each and every month. I pick up and read what I'm feeling like reading. Oh, Bella's back. So these books are books that I do plan to probably pick up in the next couple of months. Since one of my goals for the new year was to focus on reading through my physical TBR, I do have a feeling that these will likely be my next several reads. Some of them are newer releases, some of them are definitely not. They're just books that I've wanted to read for a long time and I pulled off the shelf. So, also I'm going in no particular order simply because I don't have the energy to put them in any sort of order today. So that's that. So first up on this list is Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. I love this author. Yours Truly and The Friend Zone were two of the first books that I ever received as a part of a PR package. And that was just, I just remember being so excited about it, and I am so thankful for that. And that was from Entangled Publishing, which I'm thankful to still have a great relationship with now. So Part of Your World is about a girl named Alexis Montgomery, and she is of a family of, seems like high prestige, and her family wants her to be this next world-renowned surgeon. She just wants to be an ER doctor. I mean, still pretty high up there, and she feels conflicting emotions about wanting to live up to her family's expectations of her while also just having different dreams and what that looks like. And she meets Daniel, who is a ridiculously hot carpenter, 10 years younger than her and as casual as they come, the complete opposite of sophisticated city girl Alexis. So this one sounds like a great opposites attract, and I cannot wait to read it. It sounds fantastic. So on this list is one that was slightly controversial, and to be honest, I can't remember why it was controversial, except it seemed like it was controversial for being controversial. And from what I remember, this book started gaining traction and then got a lot of media attention, and then almost became like, I remember people were like, what is happening? How does this book that's not even out yet already have a movie deal? And the author has been on Good Morning America. It was crazy successful for a debut book, and I'm talking about Lightlark by Alex Astor. So Lightlark is a fantasy book. I think it falls somewhere in between young adult and adult, so maybe new adult. But the back of this book has a really short description, so I'm just going to read that for you guys. And it says, every 100 years, the island of Lightlark appears for only 100 days to host a deadly game, where the rulers of 6 realms fight to break their curses and win unparalleled power. Each ruler has something to hide, each curse is uniquely wicked. To break them and save themselves and their realms, one ruler must die. So this one just has a lot of intrigue. I was very adamant about avoiding spoilers for this one because when I started seeing posts about it, I knew I would want to read it. So I know nothing besides the back of the book now, and I am very much looking forward to this. So the next book on this list is kind of a special one for me, and that is because it is one of those that I was very lucky enough to work with the author when the first couple of books came out. I was a part of like a book promotion team, and we worked together to find authors that we could all kind of cycle through and promote on our accounts. And so this book ended up being one that I genuinely loved so much, and it's crazy because I have, like, one of my favorite books on my shelf is a signed copy of the first book, and I am talking about Gold by Raven Kennedy. Okay, Gold is hard to give you a good description of because it is the 5th book in a series, so I would never want to spoil the beginnings of the series for you. And and where that has ended up in this newest release, but just know that it is a fantastic fantasy world. The characters, the emotions, there is so much depth to the story that I cannot even begin to explain more clearly than that. It's just really, really, really great. If you have not read this series, the first book is called Guild. It is Guild by Raven Kennedy, and if you enjoy fantasy, if you enjoy romance with your fantasy, if you enjoy magical worlds, it has fae, it's so good. It's so good. I definitely recommend it, and I cannot wait to see where the story goes here. I think this was actually supposed to be the last book in the series, but there's going to be one more. And I think that's been the case for a few books now. I think it was supposed to end on the 4th, and then there was the 5th, and then she was like, wait, I still have more of the story. And that's pretty fun because sometimes when series do that, you end up kind of trailing off and losing like the pieces that you connected to, but that is not the case here. These, I will eat these up. I just know I will love this. Okay, so this next one might be the one I'm most excited about. It's probably going to be what I pick up next when I finish my current read, which I will talk about on here. But it is the 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. But this one I'm also going to read you the back of. And the thing is I actually have not read the back of this book. I don't even really know what it's about. I've just seen so many out of context quotes of this one on Instagram and TikTok, and I've seen so many people whose book opinions I love and trust tell me that this is going to be one of my favorite books ever. I am almost scared to read it, but I'm so excited to read it. So this says, sometimes the worst day of your life happens and you have to figure out how to live after it. For Clementine West, that means burying her head in her work as a book publicist, being practical and forgetting the silly things her beloved aunt Analia taught her, like living wide and chasing the moon. Clementine would rather stay grounded and keep her heart safe. For the last 6 months, she's done just that. But when she moves into her late aunt's apartment and finds a strange man standing in the kitchen, a man with kind eyes, a southern drawl, and a taste for lemon pies, her well-laid plans begin to fall apart. Because he's the type of man who before it all she would have fallen head over heels for, and she still might, except he exists in the past. 7 years in the past to be exact, and she quite literally lives 7 years in his future. Her aunt always said the apartment was a pinch in time, a place where moments blended like watercolors. She also said that love is never a matter of time, but a matter of timing, and Clementine fears she may be 7 years too late. Oh, that just gave me goosebumps. Like, on the front, the 2 words that describe it are romantic and irresistible. It's better have a happy ending is all I know, but I feel like I'm going to absolutely eat this up. So this will probably, if it's not my next read, which I'll tell you what I think will be my next read, it'll be the one right after that. I'm scared to read it. Anyway, next is Love on the Brand by Ali Hazelwood. I don't know anything about this one yet either. I just know I love this author. I loved Love Theoretically. I loved The Love Hypothesis. I loved Check and Mate. So this one seems like the next one that I should pick up. I am kind of disappointed that I actually haven't read this before yet. I was talking to my friend Genesis and she said that this one is actually her favorite, so that makes me very excited. If you don't know who Ali Hazelwood is, she writes really great new adult romances that all focus on women in STEM. So it's an interesting branch into a new, honestly, type of woman that you don't see a lot in new adult romances. And this one sounds like an enemies to lovers because I can see on the back it says B's theory was right, forcing a scientist to work with her nemesis triggers explosive results. Something that Ali Hazelwood does really well is she builds tension and angst in her books, and that is what keeps me turning the page. So I just know this one will be 4 or 5 stars. I'll have to give a follow-up on all of these, but I know I'm gonna love this one and I can't wait to read it. This next one is called Plot Twist by Erin De La Rosa, and this one is also a recommendation from my friend Genesis. It says romance author Sophie Lyon's ironic secret just went viral. She's never been in love and it's ruining her reputation. So she's a romance author who's never been in love. I love that. With a manuscript deadline looming, Sophie makes an ambitious plan to overcome her writer's block, reunite with her exes, to learn why she's never fallen in love, and document it for her millions of new online followers. Okay, this just sounds fun. I'm not even going to read more of that because this just sounds like one that's going to make me laugh. It's one of those that, you know when you're reading a book and you're like, this would make a fantastic movie? That's kind of how I feel about this, just based off of that one little tidbit. I actually have another book by this author that I have not picked up yet. It's called For Better or Worse, and I would also like to read that one. So we'll give it an honorable mention, but I probably won't read it before I read plot twist. Next on this list is an author that I fell in love with last Christmas time, and I honestly have no excuse for why I have not picked up these next books yet. It is Mixed Signals by B.K. Borison, and I'm gonna go ahead and say also In the Weeds by B.K. Borison. I know that this author has a new book coming out soon too, so I have got to catch up. I have got to fully be a part of the hype because I loved Love Light Farms. It was so cute. It was so well written. It was beautiful. Honestly, just a beautiful romance book. So both of these sound amazing. This one, In the Weeds, is about a grumpy farmer and a no-nonsense social media influencer who have another chance at love in this charming romantic comedy. So polar opposites, grumpy sunshine, maybe? No nonsense. So opposites attract. Second chance romance. And then this one is a small town baker learns to raise her expectations for love with some help from a handsome local teacher in this sunny romantic comedy. So this one seems a little more upbeat than this one, but they both sound incredible. And again, I just know I'm gonna love them, so I am very much looking forward to finally picking these up. Next one I don't actually have a copy of, but it will be my next read. It has to be. It is by an author that I think is very underrated who had a debut book come out last year, and I am talking about Ali Rosen. She has a new book. It's called Alternate Endings, and I was approved for an advanced reader copy, so I will absolutely be reading that next, mainly because I feel very lucky that I was accepted for an advanced reader copy. So the first book by that author was A Recipe for Second Chances. I'm obsessed with it. She reminds me of Emily Henry in all of the most amazing ways, which there's not a single negative way I could think to compare someone to Emily Henry, so that feels like it goes without saying. But I am so excited about Alternate Endings, and the thing is I'm kind of going in blind. Because I loved Recipe for Second Chances so much, I decided that I don't want to know anything about Alternate Endings before I go into it. My friend has already read it. She says it's really good, and she understands where I'm coming from with the comparison thing, so I can't wait. I also know that it's not necessarily connected, so it's not like one of those romance book series where they don't necessarily have to be read in order, but you are going to see characters pop up. It doesn't seem like that's the case with these books. It just seems like a different totally independent story, so can't wait for that one. I have it on my Kindle, and my Kindle's upstairs, and to be honest, I just don't feel like going and getting it right now. This next one is one that I'm actually currently reading, so it feels a little bit like I'm cheating by including it in a video, but I don't care because I'm so excited to even be reading it, and I've wanted to read it for a while. But it is Love Redesigned by Lauren Asher. I've seen so many amazing things about this book. I am, as you can see, like 20-ish. Can you see there's my bookmark. 20%, maybe-ish, 30, maybe 30. Through it, and I'm loving it. It is a second chance romance. Dahlia has just come home after a broken engagement, and she is back in this small town, and she is reconnecting with her childhood, it seems like frenemy, who she almost had a thing with. They finally had their shot at love. They went away to college together, and then something tragic happened to his family, and he shut down. And so there's a lot of miscommunication here. I don't always love miscommunication, but when it's done well, it's done really well, and it seems like it's being done really well here, so I don't hate it, especially because it's miscommunication in the past. It's not like a current scenario that's happening that's driving you crazy, you know? They have incredible banter so far, and I've already saved like so many quotes. I need to go through and annotate when I'm done because so good. As I was making this video, I thought of another book that probably should be included here. Actually, two that should be included. No, three. Three books that should be included. Yes, because I either pre-ordered them or they're on their way and I don't have them yet. So first is Powerless by Lauren Roberts. And I actually don't know anything about it other than people say it's absolutely incredible. I know it's a fantasy, I know it has romance, and that's really all you need to sell me on. So I have that one. It says it's shipped, but it's weird because I ordered it 3 days before I ordered the next book I'm about to tell you about, and the next book says it's out for delivery today. And Powerless still doesn't have much tracking information. But I actually need to pull up on Barnes & Noble the title of this next book because I cannot remember it. I saw it in store and I thought, wow, that's a beautiful book. I bet I could see that one getting a lot of traction. It has stenciled edges, which I'm so excited about. Sorry, my app is taking a second to load. Okay, so it's called Sanctuary of the Shadow by Aurora Asher, and I was sold on this one because my friend said that it was slated to be a fantasy romance enemies to lovers that you have not devoured a book-like since Fourth Wing, so I loved Fourth Wing and I can't wait to read it. Epic fantasy set in a gorgeous and fully realized world that will have readers thinking of Brandon Sanderson along the high-intensity political intrigue of the Crucial series. I actually have never read anything by Brandon Sanderson. A woman with a gift of prophecy falls in love with a monster in this choppy romantic fantasy. Okay, well, I'm intrigued. The only other book that I feel is definitely worth mentioning, I'm gonna say 2 more books. First is House of Flame and Shadow, which is releasing at the end of this month. I'm trying to read through as many of the books on my immediate physical TBR that I already have before that one gets delivered, because I did pre-order that one from Barnes & Noble. So I will be dropping everything to read that when it gets delivered because I don't want to be spoiled on it. And so yeah, that just is what it is, and I can't wait for that to get here. I wonder how many times I've said I can't wait to read it in this video. The next one is an honorable mention. It's not out till April, but it feels very obvious and worth a say, is that I cannot wait to read Funny Story by Emily Henry. There's a lot of creators who were approved for ARCs of Funny Story, and I'm a little jealous. I did not prioritize asking for that. I did not prioritize requesting that. I don't even know how to go about asking for an ARC of an Emily Henry book, but I did pre-order that one already, so even though it's a few months out, I feel like I have enough books in my want to read shelf to hold me over till then, and everything will be dropped for that one. Thank you so much for watching, and if we share any wants to read in common, let me know, because that's so fun. And then if not, if you have actually read any of these, whether you loved them or hated them, like, let me know, because I'm all about hearing different takes on books. Most of these I've seen in general positive thoughts on, with the exception of Lightlark. I've seen very mixed reactions on that one, probably due to all the hype on it. So those are the books that I will be prioritizing and that I will definitely be updating you guys on as I actually pick them up and read them. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful day, evening, afternoon, whatever time it is for you, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye!